Hi, friends. Welcome back to the Break Vape podcast, episode number 17. I am your host, Tami Ernst. We have some new listeners in Colombia. Welcome, guys. This is a podcast where I spread awareness around the dangers of vaping while also giving you actionable tools to help you quit vaping today and for good, if that is what you so desire. My goal throughout these episodes is that you gather enough tips and tricks to quit on your own for free. It's 100% doable when you put your mind to it. For my listeners, though, who really need some more hand-holding, some more coaching, or if you simply want to expedite the quitting process in as little as 5 weeks, or just want to dive deeper into life coaching in general, then I invite you to send an email to hello@breakvapes.com. That's hello@breakvapes.com. Just say hi and introduce yourself, and you'll quickly learn everything there is to know about how my coaching program works. Today, we are talking about gut health. That's gut, G-U-T, as in your stomach and everything inside of there and all your guts. Your gut health and how vaping actually affects it. Here is a quick rundown about gut health if you're not familiar with the topic. I really like an article from parkview.com that simply breaks it down, and of course, I'll leave the link in the show notes. So, what is gut health? Believe it or not, your gut microbiome, which is just a fancy term for where microorganisms live, is the foundation of your health. Good gut health occurs when you have a balance between the good/helpful and the bad/potentially harmful bacteria and yeast in your digestive system. In fact, 80% of your immune system is in your gut. And the majority of your body's serotonin is too. This means that if your gut isn't healthy, then your immune system and hormones won't function and you will get sick. Unfortunately, this is also how autoimmune disorders like Hashimoto's diseases begin. Your gut is the foundation of everything. It aids in the digestion of the foods that you eat. It absorbs nutrients and uses its fuel to maintain your body. So, if your gut is imbalanced and your immune system isn't working properly, your serotonin and your hormones won't either, making it more challenging to stay healthy. Mind-blowing, right? Your gut is also where your body gets rid of metabolic waste and toxins. So, if you have an unhealthy gut, your body will struggle to rid itself of those toxins. If this occurs, it can cause many issues, including chronic fatigue, chronic illnesses, and inflammation throughout the body. That's why people experience symptoms such as brain fog, diarrhea, constipation, gas, joint pain, etc., etc. You may not realize it, but the brain is the second gut. Therefore, if your gut isn't working, your brain is struggling too. So, what does this have to do with vaping? Okay, well, here's the headline. Let's dive a little deeper, shall we? Chemicals used for vaping break down zipper-like junctions between cells in the gut, leading to chronic inflammation and potential for other health concerns. So I scoured the internet for articles and did a ton of research to break down the science easily for both you and I. And here is what I found from an article from US San Diego Health, which was one of the favorite ones that I read. And of course, I will also drop the link to that in the show notes. This article particularly caught my attention because it addresses zero nicotine vapes, which I get a lot of questions about from you guys in emails asking if zero nic vapes are harmful. So here's the scoop, okay? Chronic use of even nicotine-free e-cigarettes leads to a leaky gut. What does that mean? That means in which microbiomes and other molecules seep out of the intestines, resulting in chronic inflammation. Such inflammation can contribute to a variety of diseases and conditions, including inflammatory bowel disease, dementia, certain cancers, arterial fat buildup, liver fibrosis, diabetes, arthritis, etc. The gut lining is an amazing entity. It is comprised of a single layer of cells that are meant to seal the body from trillions of microbes, defend our immune system, and at the same time allow absorption of essential nutrients. So anything we eat or drink, our lifestyle choices, in other words, have the ability to impact our gut microbes, the gut barrier, and our overall health. Now we know that when we smoke, such as e-cigarettes, that negatively impacts our gut health as well. So the researchers in this study found that the two chemicals used as a base for all e-cigarette liquid vapor, whether it has nicotine in it or not, are propylene glycol and vegetable glycerol. These are the causes of this inflammation. Numerous chemicals are created when these two are heated to generate the fumes in vaping that cause the most damage, for which there are no current regulations. Now, when it comes to regulations, the safety of e-cigarettes have been debated fiercely on both sides, right? Nicotine content and its additive nature has always been the major focus of those who argue against its safety, whereas lack of chemicals in the carcinogens that are present in the cigarette smoke have been touted by the makers of e-cigarettes when marketing these products as a healthy alternative to smoking cigarettes. Well, in reality, it's the chemicals making up the vapor liquid, like we just discussed, right? These two chemicals, when they're heated, so these chemicals that make up the vapor liquid are what we need to be more concerned about, as they are the causes of the gut inflammation. For this study, the team this is when I kind of geek out on the science here. I think it's really cool. For the study, the team used 3D models of human intestinal tracts generated from patient cells and simulated what happens when e-cigarette vapors enter the gut lining. Researchers validated the findings using mice models. To produce the 3D gut organoids, the researchers collected stem cells from patients' biopsies during colonoscopies and then grew them in vitro. The stem cells differentiated into the 4 different cell types that make up the gut lining. The team then exposed the organoids to e-cigarette liquid vapor, mimicking the frequency of a chronic vapor. What they found, they noted that the epithelial tight conjunction markers, which are the zipper-like proteins we mentioned earlier that form the gut's first physical barrier, began to break or loosen, causing pathogens from the vapor to seep into the surrounding immune system, wreaking havoc on protective epithelial cells that lie just beneath. Such cells act as a defense against infection by clearing pathogenic microbes and initiating certain immune responses in the body. When exposed to the e-cigarette liquid, the cells were quickly overwhelmed, unable to effectively clear pathogens, resulting in gut inflammation. So, there you have it, my friends. Another bite-sized tidbit in terms of time, but huge in terms of health value for you to take into consideration. I do have to add this disclaimer because I am not a doctor. So if you want to look into following my advice, please ask your doctor first. In my opinion, I think that everyone should take probiotics, even our kiddos who have developing microbiomes that will play into their immune function for the rest of their lives. It is also my opinion that if you vape, try giving it a shot to quit for a while or for good, especially with my help, because among the hundreds of positive reasons for quitting, you will improve your gut and your brain health. I personally take prebiotics as well as probiotics. Especially if I have to take antibiotics when I'm sick, then I'll double up on my probiotics. I'm not an affiliate, but I am happy to share with you the brand that I use from Whole Foods, which you can find in the refrigerated section. I think you can also maybe get it on Amazon, but it does need to be refrigerated. It's called Garden of Life Raw Probiotics Ultimate Care 34 Probiotic Strains. And on the label, it says 100 billion guaranteed. P.S. I also buy my kiddo probiotics refrigerated as well. Okay, guys, there you have it. Send an email to hello@breakvapes.com if you want to learn how I can help you quit vaping for good. And until next week, cheers to your health, my friends. See you later.